Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In case you're new here, my name is Lorena and I love to share my recipes with you. And if you've been here before, then hello again. Today we're going to do one of my favorite breads of all time. We're going to do croissants. What's beautiful about croissant is that flaky texture. You know how you see all those layers in the bread and also the crust from the outside that is perfect. You can have it with butter, for sandwiches, with marmalade, whatever you like, they're always going to be spectacular. This recipe requires quite a lot of time. You do need to plan ahead, and even if you get organized, you can make it in 4 days and just do it in a slower pace, and that will be fine as well. This dough is a laminated dough, which means that there are layers of dough and butter that are going to form those beautiful layers that we love in croissants. So the butter will release steam in the oven, and that will make the layers separate so that you see all of those tiny specks of dough. And the difference between puff pastry, which is also a laminated dough, and this one is that this one also has yeast in it, so it's double the amount of air in the dough. As always, if you want to see the full recipe, then all you need to do is click on the link in the description box below, and that will take you to the blog where you'll find lots more recipes. Also remember that if you like this video, you can always put thumbs up to it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. I'm now going to make these croissants, so if you want to see how they're done, then keep on watching this video. So like I told you, this is a laminated dough, and for that we need to prepare the butter and also the dough separately. So here I have butter that is at room temperature, and I've also prepared something that will help me laminate the dough. I folded an A4 sheet in half, and that makes an A5 sheet, and that's roughly the size that we want our butter to be. So what I did was wrap some baking paper around this sheet of paper, and I'm going to stretch out my butter in here so that it stays that shape, and then take it to the fridge. For the dough, I have here all my dry ingredients, which I've already mixed up, and here I have lukewarm water and milk. I'm going to add these and mix it all in with a spatula until it doesn't help me anymore, and then I'm going to finish mixing with my hands. This dough is now going to rest for an hour or until it doubles in size, covered with cling film in a bowl. So here's the dough after it has proofed, and now we're going to knock out all of the air, wrap it in cling film really nice and flat, and put it in the fridge. And that's because we want it to be a bit firm before we go on to making the lamination. So it's going to be in the fridge for 30 minutes at least. Now that the dough has rested for 30 minutes in the fridge, we're going to roll it out and start the lamination. So the first step for a lamination is called an inclusion, and it's when you put the butter inside of the dough. And after that, we're going to do a series of turns. So at this point, you want to take out your butter a few minutes before you actually take out the dough, because you don't want it to be rock solid. Otherwise, it's going to start splitting your dough into pieces. So now we're going to roll it to 1.5 times the length of our A5 sheet of paper, or actually sheet of butter. And you want a few, about 3 fingers on each side as well, so that it can be wrapped around the butter. Try to keep the dough in a rectangular shape as much as possible by pulling the sides gently when you roll it out. Once you've stretched it out enough, then you're going to put the butter on the lower 2/3 of the dough, as you can see now, and then you're going to fold the top third of the dough onto the butter and then the bottom towards the top. And then you're going to have 3 layers of dough and 3 layers of butter. Once we have the inclusion done, it looks like this, and we're going to stretch it and do our first turn, which is going to be the same movement that we did before for the inclusion. So we're going to stretch it out and then fold it in 3, and then we have more layers than we did before. Now that we've done the first turn, it needs to rest because the butter will have gone soft by now. So we're going to wrap it in cling film and take it to the fridge for an hour. And after that time, we're going to make the other 2 turns that will finish with the dough. Okay, so it's rested now, so we're going to go ahead and do the next turns, and we're going to do 2 book turns, which is a bit different from the one that we did, but instead of folding it into 3, we're going to fold it first towards the center and then that in half, so we get more layers from one effort instead of going 3 by 3 every time. If at any point you're stretching out the dough and you see some butter peeking through, just add some flour on top to keep on rolling it out. Now we're going to wrap it up in cling film once again, and it's going to rest in the fridge overnight. So here's the dough that I made yesterday, and we're going to stretch it out until it's about 2 to 3 millimeters thick, and we're going to form the croissants by cutting triangles and then rolling them onto themselves. I'm cutting my triangles 10 centimeters at the base and 20 centimeters long. And this will make small croissants that will be perfect for eating, like a couple with some butter and marmalade. But of course you can make them the size that you like, the rule of thumb being that the base of the triangle needs to be half the length. Once you finish rolling all your croissants, you'll see that you have a bit of dough left, which is inevitable, but don't throw it away because it's still a really nice dough, and you can make like makeshift cinnamon rolls. You can just stretch it out, add some cinnamon sugar at the center and roll them and cut them into circles, and you can cook them like that and they'll be lovely anyway. They do have to proof before they go into the oven like these, so just keep that in mind. Now these are going to proof, so you have 2 options here. If your oven has a low temperature setting, say around 30 or 34, then you can keep them in there for about 20 or 30 minutes, or if you're in a warm room, you can leave them outside for about an hour. So what I do, because my minimum in my oven is 50 degrees, I put it on 50 and keep the door open so they're still in a quite warm environment to proof. Once they have proofed, we're going to paint them with egg wash. So I have here 1 egg with about half a teaspoon of water, and I mix them up and I'm going to paint them just to get that really nice golden color on the crust. Now they're going to go into a preheated oven at 165 degrees Celsius for about 20 or 30 minutes, but that time will also depend on how big your croissants are. Was my croissant recipe. I really hope you liked it. If you did like it, don't forget to put thumbs up to this video. It makes me really happy. Please, if you make this recipe or any other recipe from the blog, don't forget to send me a picture or tag me on them because I really love to see what you cook. Also, if there's anything savory or sweet that you would like me to teach you how to make, you can leave a comment below. I'm posting recipes every Thursday and Sunday, so if you don't want to miss any of them, then I recommend that you subscribe to my channel. It's free and only 1 click away. You can also follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook as Cravings Journal. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you next time.